This is Gary Atensi with CNTV, and today we're in Aurora, Colorado. We're here at the Performance Play Music School, brand new for 2015. They have been providing music school offering private, group, and performance-based classes for folks here in Aurora and the surrounding areas. I'm here with Dan Menching, who is the owner, general manager, music director, instructor. Quite a few topics you got going there, Dan. Let's start off a little bit about yourself. I mean, quite honestly, this was a company that began by you and your brother.
Correct.
It's family owned and operated. You guys, way back in the 90s, you guys have done some performing yourselves. You've done a lot of instructing in the past, over a decade. Let me ask you, was music something that you were brought up with, and how did you get involved doing this type of industry?
Well, yeah, my grandfather started some music stores / schools back in 1936, and he was very successful with those. He had about 5 by the time it was done, and then my brother decided to buy those when my grandfather was ready to retire. And so, yeah, we've always been exposed to music. We all played music ever since we were in 3rd grade. My brother and I would jam in the basement playing Van Halen and stuff. So
that is very cool. Like I say, going all the way back to 1930s there, music is the universal language. Obviously, it is enjoyed by people with their ears. We all love listening to music. But even more enhanced is when you can actually enjoy that performance with your eyes as well. Why was the performance aspect something that was important that you guys would incorporate into your training?
I think that really provides the glue to hold the musicians together, to stay with their instruments. I mean, there's definitely a social element. These kids love coming to their band practice every week for 2 hours. They become really good friends, and it just takes it beyond the next level. I mean, once you feel what it's like to perform on stage, it becomes something that's definitely more in your blood.
I believe that. I mean, I grew up musically inclined. I love playing multiple instruments, and quite honestly, I was quick to learn that even though you're great at an instrument, doesn't mean you're great at performing that instrument.
Oh, yeah.
Is that something that is really expressed here and learned?
Absolutely. We try to, towards the last couple practices before the kids have a show, make them stand up, make them start looking around. Hopefully they memorize their parts so that when people are watching them perform, it's actually enjoyable to watch, and they're not just kind of, memorizing their parts and still staring at a sheet of paper. So it's a whole nother step, yeah.
Speaking of a whole other step, I just got done witnessing a performance you guys had here downtown Parker, Colorado. I've got to tell you that the expressions that I've seen on those kids' face, the passion in their eyes, quite honestly, this has to be something that is about connecting with the audience. Obviously, that was probably a pretty exciting day for you as well.
It was wonderful. It went off without a hitch, and I couldn't have asked it to go any better. The place was packed. Everyone was up against the stage, and that just feels so good when you're on the stage playing to a crowd and they're just jammed up against you, and it's just you can feel the energy.
I mean, a guy would have to be blind not to see these kids are having fun. Not only is it fun, but I mean, I've seen it's competitive. I see them able to express themselves. I also see confidence levels that these kids are able to push out there. This is something you really don't find in any kind of other sport program, if you ask me.
Yeah, I mean, it's and even if you were in a sports program, it's a great thing to add to your repertoire because it's just an extra level of depth that you can connect with people and perform for people and just become, a better person.
Let me ask you, let's start off with some of the classes here. If somebody wants to get the best, fastest results, why is private one-on-one class still the way to go?
Well, there's all kinds of different personalities. There's all kinds of different ways that people learn, whether it's visual or oral or a combination of the two. And, getting one-on-one, your instructor will figure that out within about 3 lessons and then really start catering that instruction towards you.
I mean, I'm pretty amazed you've got 2,000 square foot of a lot going on here. I mean, you've got a pretty packed school here. What are the instruments you learn how to play? I mean, I see guitar, I see piano. What else we have?
We've pretty much got most of them covered at this point. I mean, obviously guitar, bass, drums, keyboards, and vocals. And then, we've got the trumpet, the tuba, the saxophone, the clarinet, the flute, you name it, all the string instruments. So it's fun. I love walking through the hallways and just hearing the symphony of sounds.
I mean, I know for myself, I've got a young kid who's only like 2 years old, and yet they're already starting to enjoy music. You're never too young or never too old to enjoy music. Tell me about the Babblers class. Is that something you guys are incorporating in?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. We have a wonderful instructor who has been doing that for probably 20 years, and she works with the kids, and just really knows what she's doing to actually take them step by step through the different, childhood development levels that they need to go through to comprehend that at the proper rate.
So be it babblers or dabblers, depends on what age they are, they really can start really early on appreciating listening to music, enhancing their skills of listening, and also, I imagine, taking direction.
Yeah, that is one element. And it's just, I remember with my daughter, I think she was only 13 months old. And it was just fun to see her get into class and be social with other kids.
I've seen performance of grade school and middle school music performances before, but I've got to tell you what I've seen there in Parker. You could see that some specific training in performance actually was taking place. I mean, these guys took command of a stage, and you kind of forgot how young they really were.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of our whole goal, is to give them enough time we let them pick the songs themselves in most cases, and then we just let them really own those parts, and so that we can kind of, by the performance, we're just kind of hands off watching them and don't even have to do any cues, really. So
once they learn the basics from performance here, obviously performance is not something you're going to learn overnight. You've got different levels. You're talking about basically players, performers, professionals, pros, what you guys stars. Those are all different levels that people basically are able to work into. And is this for youth as well as adults?
Oh, absolutely. In about 5 minutes, you're going to see them rolling in here. We got a really good adult band that meets here for 2 hours every Thursday from 7 to 9. We'll probably start another one pretty soon. And it's a blast. I've subbed for that class before, and it's just great because it's like I have my own band, basically. If one of the guys doesn't show up, I can sit in and sing some songs that I like to sing or play some drums. But they really, the adults love it because they don't always have a lot of time to get a band together themselves. But obviously, there's a ton of adults out there that play guitar and drums and keys and things. And so we do all the hard work for them. We chart all the songs out. We send them around in an email group so that everyone can practice and know what they're doing by the time they get here.
I mean, it is class, it is school, but quite honestly, when I grew up, you couldn't wait for the weekend to stop doing what you did during the weekdays. But, I mean, for these people that don't have enough, you got some weekend players here. Tell me about that, the weekend rockers.
Well, basically, we do something on the first Saturday of every month, and that is just invite the whole community, whether or not they're students here or not, just to come and play as a group if they've never done it before. So we have this big performance room, which I'm sure you'll see. It's got the drum set and the bass amp and everything. And so, maybe people have taken lessons for, 6 months or something like that, and they want to try playing along with the drummer and playing a song. Then we have a bunch of songs that are kind of easily charted and easy to learn, and we usually get them playing at least 5 or 6 songs. So.
Excellent. Viewers, take a look at the bottom of the screen right there. What you're going to see is their website. On the website, what you're going to find basically is take a look at all the classes they provide out there for you. We're talking about private classes. All the instruments, like he says, they got you covered here, and you can sign up right there. You can even take a peek inside of a class right there. Obviously, we've been showing a lot of the performance pieces. We've been showing you some of the private sessions. They've got a complete facility here basically that is designed to really show you the appreciation of music. One of the things that really separates you guys from a lot of the schools that I see out there is the fact that this is more than a school. We're actually talking about a store. Yeah. We're talking a place where you can actually rent an instrument or even purchase one. Tell me about that.
That's right. We do rent the full array of band and orchestra instruments here. So a lot of times we have really good trial periods if you catch us like in August when the school is starting back again. And so, yeah, you can rent your trumpet here, your violin, you name it. And, that we also have, not as much as you'd find at the larger stores, but we have enough just to keep your strings replaced. We got your sticks. We got, a lot of beginner instruments, because we do get a lot of beginners at our school, and that way we can hook them up with a really affordable guitar right off the bat, or other things that we have back there. So
you're talking about all the essentials right here if you need them. You got your strings and everything you need to basically learn the instruments as well. You guys have started doing this in 2015. Are you looking forward to actually putting out some camps out there and things like that?
Yeah, we actually did summer camps most of the weeks last summer, and we'll be doing them again this summer, of course. They usually start the first week in June and go all the way through August. And, we'll probably even start doing some camps for those kids who are off track. So, if the parents don't know what they're going to do with their kids for those 2 or 3 weeks out in the Cherry Creek School District, they can send them here and have them join a band for a week or 2 weeks or whatever they want to do.
What a great option, something positive out there for the youth to be doing. And obviously, one of the things that I've seen that I've never seen before is you've got something you do for birthdays out there. Tell me about that. That's cool.
Yeah, birthday parties. We do that for kids who are slightly interested in just kind of performing, or even if they just want to do like a glorified karaoke type of thing. We have really cool lights in our big performance room, and we'll let them sing along to the microphones, which all kids love to do. Or they can, sometimes we've had success where if kids are old enough, we can actually teach them how to play like 3 rock songs by the time that 2 or 3 hour birthday party's done, and they can perform for their whole family and friends.
That is very cool. We definitely wanted to come down here and introduce this new company that you provided here for the Aurora area. I've got to tell you, I was in a unique position being over there and enjoying the performance due to the fact that I was out in the audience and I was able to see the kids doing their thing. But I was also on the stage, and I was able to look back at the audience, look back at 2 brothers who were sitting there. Man, this has to be pretty rewarding for you guys when you're seeing it come to play like that.
Absolutely. It was... especially for my brother, who actually lives in back on the East Coast, and for him to come out here and just see what has happened, in the last year, it was very exciting for him.
Very exciting. Viewers, last time, take a look at the bottom of the screen right there. What you're going to see is their website. On the website, basically, you're going to find out some of the classes they provide for you out there. This is a company that is brand new to the Aurora area, but I can tell you these guys are not brand new to the music scene. This is basically a family that can trace the roots all the way back to the 30s, if you will, and basically they've been involved in business, been involved in music. Not only that, but since back in the 90s, they have basically performed, and they know the ins and outs of music, and they're just happy to share that passion with you. Once again, that is the Performance Play Music School located here in Aurora, Colorado. This is Gary Atensi with CNTV, and if you don't know, now you know.